Hi there, everyone. I'm just going to settle here for a little bit, for another couple of minutes, just to see who else might want to join. So, if you've joined me already, now is a good time to just find a comfortable position. I'm going to be chatting for a little bit, maybe for around 5 minutes. And then we're going to do a practice, a mindfulness, a meditation practice that's going to take around 10 minutes after that. So just finding somewhere that's going to be comfortable for you for that roughly 15-minute duration. Wanting ideally to make sure that your back is well supported in an upright posture. If you're sitting, not too slumped. You can be lying down on the floor or in bed when you're lying down, particularly if your back has any soreness. Thinking about having a little bit of a bend in your knees, maybe a cushion under the knees, or the knees bent and the feet flat on the surface below you. Just checking in on your temperature as well. Do you need to be somewhere a little cooler? Draw the curtains from the sunshine. Do you need to be a bit warmer? Grabbing yourself a blanket. So just going to give you another 30 seconds or so to do all those little checks, see how everything feels. Make sure that you're settled in a posture and a position that works for you. So today I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about the benefits of nature, being out in nature, and engaging with nature in whatever way we can. There's loads of proven benefits of spending time either being out in your local park, walking, even if it's just walking down a footpath or a road that's got some trees on it or some lovely gardens. Maybe if you're able to, going to a local nature reserve or a woodland, finding some of the local footpaths near you. And even just looking out of your window at the trees, listening to the birds, being out in a little bit of a green space, either a garden or a green space near you, watching the bees buzzing around. And what all of these little contact points with nature do is help us settle. We're built to be in a natural environment, and it connects with something maybe just kind of a little bit deeper within us, gives us more of a sense of calmness and relaxation. And also, it can be a way of practicing, a really lovely way of practicing being in the moment. So, being able to just be completely absorbed, looking at a view or looking at trees or plants. And it enables us to use lots of different senses sometimes as well. So that might be smelling some of the flowers. There's a beautiful honeysuckle that I'm walking past as I walk out the end of my road at the moment, which just smells beautifully of honey, very sweet. There's the bird song and the noises of nature. So bird song is a wonderful one, particularly earlier in the mornings at the moment. So if you're having struggling sleeping in the early hours of the morning, actually listening to the birds can be quite a nice relaxing way to sort of lean into that. But it might just be the wind in the trees. It might be the buzzing of the bees on some nearby flowers. So wherever you can, I would recommend building in a little bit of time in nature. Sat in the garden, going for a walk and maybe choosing a route that takes in a little bit more nature, by a river, by a canal, in the woods, in a park. All of these little bits of nature time add up and help our bodies and our brains to just settle, be a little calmer. There's also some fantastic research coming out about the benefits of actually kind of breathing in or smelling some of the scents from nature. Certain trees and plants have different properties. A lot of modern day medicine is actually, in some cases, derived from the chemicals that plants produce. So there are a whole host of very, very real benefits of being out in nature. And as I say, encouraging you to just use those five senses. What can you see? What can you smell? What can you hear? Maybe even trying to touching the leaf on a tree or a plant. Um, I mean, sometimes there's the opportunity to taste. We're growing mint in the garden at the moment, and having given it a bit of a rinse off, lovely fresh mint is nice to have sprinkled on a salad or in a fresh mint tea with some hot water. So, using all of those five senses to take in our experience, fantastic way to connect with nature, really be in the moment and be curious about what's going on. There's always more going on than you think in the natural world. And also, again, a great way of being mindful. We're concentrated enough on everything that's going on in that natural environment, using those four or five senses if there are safe, edible things around. And that is a great way of being mindful. We're keeping our brain occupied enough with what's going on in that present moment that it just helps to calm that sort of flow of thoughts in and out that we can often get a little bit caught up in. So my suggestion for you for this next week or 2 weeks or even month is to have a little sprinkling, a few little moments out in nature. Pauses each day. They might be very short, just 10 seconds, or they might be a little bit longer, and see if you can notice the impact of that. So, we're going to just set ourselves up for our mindfulness practice now. We're going to do a body scan. So, just a reminder, if you've just joined us, about thinking about that posture, making sure that you are comfortable, well supported. If you're seated, trying not to slump too much into your back, keep that as upright as is comfortable. So taking a moment just to set that up. And as always, with my mindfulness practices, everything I say today is invitational, just suggestions. So I'll remind you of this throughout the practice, but if anything doesn't feel right for you today, or you give it a go and you're not sure about it, or it doesn't feel good, then feel free to change your focus onto a different part of the body. Often feet are quite a grounding one, or our sit bones, something like that. So yeah, everything is just an invitation, an option. And on that note, we can either close our eyes or just lower or soften our gaze. So, just sort of loosening the focus in our eyes, focusing gently on a point that's maybe a metre or so in front of us, but down towards the floor slightly. Just, yeah, to help calm that sense. So, whenever you're ready, lowering your gaze or closing your eyes. We're just going to spend a moment here getting a sense of the whole body and its touch points with whatever surface is underneath us. So if we're lying down, that might be the buttocks, the back of the rib cage, the back of the head, the heels, and the backs of the calves. If we're seated, it might be more in the soles of our feet, the sit bones, the back of our thighs. Wherever you can feel the body coming into contact with the surface or surfaces beneath us, let's just focus our attention there for a moment. We're going to gradually just draw our attention down to our feet now. Seeing if we can get a sense of our toes. Lots of nerve endings in our feet and toes. Just really feeling into that area and seeing what sensations you notice. It might be pressure, aspects of your toes on the surface beneath you. It might be the feeling of perhaps socks, slippers, shoes that you're wearing. It might be the feeling of a little bit of coolness or warmth from the air. We're going to extend that awareness now to the whole of the feet. The soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, maybe even the insides of the feet, if you can notice sensations there. Extending that curious, kind awareness up into our ankles, our shins and our calves, up into our knees, and while we're doing this, thoughts will drift in and out of our heads. And the trick is to try and not to get caught up in them or start telling ourselves stories. Just acknowledge that thought and let it drift back out of our heads again, like we're watching clouds in the sky. They come, we see them, and they just keep drifting away. We're going to draw that awareness gently up into our thighs. And if you'd like, thinking about the fronts of the thighs, the backs of the thighs. An invitation to draw that awareness up into the area around the hips. And the whole of that pelvic area. Shifting that awareness to our sit bones. Gradually, we're going to flow that awareness up the back of the body, if that's comfortable for you. So the option to move our awareness to our buttocks, to our lower backs, the back of the rib cage, not just the spine, but the ribs broadening out either side, round our shoulder blades, and up to the tops of our shoulders. And if you'd like, if it feels good for you, just flowing that awareness down the front of the body, so across the front of our shoulders, the fronts of our rib cage, feeling into the upper part of the abdomen, flowing into the whole of the abdomen, the belly area. And then if you'd like, perhaps taking a moment to just feel the whole of the torso, from the pelvis all the way up through the belly, the rib cage to the shoulders. Drawing that awareness now into those shoulders, if you'd like. And possibly using the analogy of water, letting it flow down into your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, wrists, the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands. Thinking about your thumbs, index fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers and little fingers. And broadening that awareness, if it feels good for you, to the whole of the hands. And again, thoughts will come and go like clouds in the sky or leaves on the stream. We can see them, acknowledge them, and let them continue to drift away. Drawing that awareness back up the arms, gently through the forearms, elbows, upper arms, settling into across the top of the shoulders. And if it feels right for you, let's see what that neck feels like, moving the awareness to the area of the neck. Maybe the front, the sides, the back of the neck. Drawing up into the backs of our heads, the tops of our heads. Gently flowing down into our faces. Just being aware of the feeling of our foreheads and eyebrows. The sensations around our eyes, cheeks, mouth, lips. And extending that outwards to the whole of the head, or whichever area around the face and head feels more pleasant for you. So before we bring this meditation to a close, I'm just going to leave you with a few seconds of silence. So my suggestion now to gently close this practice is to bring a little movement into the body, first of all. So perhaps that might be moving our fingers and our toes. Might be a little stretch or a wiggle, very gently, mindfully moving the body. And whenever you're ready, lifting the gaze or opening your eyes. It's been so lovely to practice with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Just a reminder that these free sessions are monthly on YouTube on the third Wednesday of every month. I also have weekly longer sessions, around 45 minutes long, that you can find on Eventbrite or my website that are just £5. And in a week or so's time, I'm starting a summer 6-week mindfulness course if you want to delve deeper into the psychology, the practices, and the depth with mindfulness and compassion a little bit. Thanks ever so much again for joining me. I'll see you again soon.